Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes. Well, it may be even more than 10,000. And tucked away in the northern reaches of this waterlogged state lies a true gem Voyagers National Park. This isn't your typical park with paved roads and well-marked trails. Oh no, here water is the boss. It's the main thoroughfare, the lifeblood, the very essence of the place. To truly experience Voyagers, you need a canoe, a kayak, or maybe even a houseboat. Leave your car behind and embrace the spirit of the Voyagers. Think about it. Paddling across glassy waters as the sun rises, mist clinging to the surface. The silence broken only by the splash of your paddle and the call of a loon in the distance. This is Voyagers, a place where you can truly disconnect from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and reconnect with nature, a place of peace, tranquility and adventure. But it's not just about the big lakes, though they are impressive. Rainy Lake, Kabetogama Lake, Namakan Lake, these names roll off the tongue like the songs of ancient giants. And then there are the countless smaller lakes, hidden away like secret treasures, just waiting to be discovered. So what are you waiting for? Grab your paddle, pack your sense of adventure, and come explore the wonders of Voyagers National Park. It's an experience you won't soon forget. Now I know what you're thinking, Bill. You're saying water is all well and good, but what about the land? Don't tell me it's all just soggy forests and mosquito-infested swamps. And you'd be right to ask, but trust me, the land here has stories to tell. Stories whispered by the wind and etched into the very rocks beneath our feet. You see, Voyagers sits atop the Canadian Shield, a vast expanse of ancient rock that stretches back billions of years. Billions, I tell you. These rocks have seen it all. They've witnessed the slow, relentless march of glaciers carving out the landscape we see today. They've felt the heat of volcanic eruptions and the crushing weight of ice sheets miles thick, and the evidence is everywhere. Look closely and you'll see the telltale signs of the glacier's handiwork. Giant boulders plucked from the earth and deposited haphazardly across the landscape. Long parallel grooves carved into the bedrock like giant claw marks. These are the stories the land tells if you know where to look. So, yes, there are forests here, dense boreal forests of spruce, pine and fir, their branches heavy with the scent of resin. And yes, there are swamps and bogs teeming with life and mystery. But it's the rocks, those ancient weathered rocks, that hold the true history of this place. They're a reminder that we're just passing through, just a blip in the grand scheme of things. But enough geology lessons for now. Let's get back to the water, shall we? After all, that's what Voyagers is all about. And what better way to experience it than by paddling through its intricate network of waterways? Imagine this. You're gliding silently across a glassy lake, the only sound the gentle drip of water from your paddle. The air is fresh and clean, carrying the scent of pine and damp earth. The sun warms your face, and a gentle breeze ruffles your hair. You round a bend and suddenly you're in another world. Towering cliffs rise up on either side, their rocky faces reflected in the still water. A waterfall cascades down a mossy precipice, its roar echoing through the trees. You feel a sense of awe of being completely immersed in the raw beauty of nature. And the best part, you can have this experience all to yourself. Unlike some of our more crowded national parks, Voyagers offers a sense of solitude that's hard to find these days. You can paddle for hours without seeing another soul, just you and the wilderness. So grab your paddle, pack your lunch and set off on an adventure. Explore hidden coves, navigate winding channels and discover the secrets of Voyagers National Park from the water. It's an experience that will stay with you long after you've returned to dry land. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bill, you're saying all this talk of peace and tranquility is fine, but what about the wildlife? Isn't it a little unnerving being out there in the wilderness all alone? And you know what? You're right to be cautious. This is bear country after all, and wolves, and moose. But that's all part of the adventure, isn't it? Imagine this, you're paddling along, lost in your thoughts, when you spot a movement in the trees at the water's edge. You stop paddling and hold your breath, your heart pounding in your chest. Slowly, a majestic bull moose emerges from the undergrowth, its massive antlers silhouetted against the bright sky. It pauses for a moment, regarding you with a calm, curious gaze, before lowering its head to drink from the lake. Or perhaps you're hiking along a trail when you hear the unmistakable howl of a wolf in the distance. A shiver runs down your spine, a primal fear mixed with a strange sense of exhilaration. You know you're in their territory, a guest in their home. And then there are the birds. Ospreys soaring overhead, their keen eyes scanning the water for fish. Loons calling to each other across the lakes, their haunting cries echoing through the stillness. Bald eagles perched atop towering pines, their white heads gleaming in the sunlight. Section 5, echoes of paddles and dreams of gold, but Voyagers isn't just about the present. It's a place steeped in history, where the echoes of the past still linger in the air. Long before the arrival of Europeans, Native American tribes called this land home, living in harmony with the rhythms of nature. They fished these waters, hunted these forests, and paddled these same waterways in their birch-bark canoes. Then came the Voyagers, those intrepid French-Canadian fur traders who gave the park its name. Imagine them paddling their heavy canoes laden with furs, their voices raised in song as they navigated the treacherous waters. They were tough, resourceful men, these Voyagers, and their legacy lives on in the spirit of adventure that permeates this place. And let's not forget the gold rush. Yes, even this remote corner of Minnesota got caught up in the frenzy. Prospectors flocked to the area in the late 1800s, hoping to strike it rich. While the gold rush was short-lived, it left its mark on the landscape, with abandoned mines and ghost towns serving as reminders of a bygone era. Today, you can still experience this rich history firsthand. Visit the historic Kettle Falls Hotel, a beautifully preserved relic from the early 1900s. Explore the ruins of Rainy Lake City, once a bustling gold rush town, or simply close your eyes and listen to the whispers of the past, carried on the wind through the trees. Section 6. Finding your way in the wilderness. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bill, you're saying this all sounds great, but how do I even get to this Voyagers place? And once I'm there, where do I go? What do I do? Don't you worry your pretty little head about a thing. Getting there is half the fun. You see, Voyagers is a park that embraces its wild side. There are no grand entrances, no paved roads leading you by the hand. To truly experience Voyagers, you have to earn it. Start your adventure at one of the visitor centers scattered around the park's edges. These are your gateways to adventure, dispensing maps, advice, and maybe even a good cup of coffee. The rangers, those ever helpful stewards of the wilderness, will be happy to point you in the right direction. Now, about getting around. Remember what I said about water being the boss? Well, that means you'll need to embrace your inner mariner. Rent a canoe or a kayak and chart your own course through the labyrinthine waterways. Don't worry, you won't be completely on your own. Maps and charts are available, and the well-marked channels will keep you from getting hopelessly lost. If paddling isn't your thing, don't despair. There are hiking trails too, threading their way through the forests and along the rocky shorelines. Lace up your boots, pack a picnic, and set off on foot to discover hidden waterfalls, panoramic vistas, and maybe even a moose or two. Section 7, a hotel on the water's edge. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Bill, you're saying I love the idea of Voyagers, but I'm not sure I'm cut out for roughing it. Are there any creature comforts to be found in this wilderness paradise? And you know what? You're in luck, because nestled amidst the wilds of Voyagers, like a pearl in an oyster, lies the Kettle Falls Hotel. Imagine this. You've spent the day paddling across shimmering lakes, the sun warming your face, the wind in your hair. As the day draws to a close, you arrive at a small island, its shores fringed with whispering pines. And there, perched on a rocky outcrop overlooking the water, stands the Kettle Falls Hotel, its warm lights beckoning you ashore. Step inside and be transported back in time. The hotel, built in the early 1900s, has been lovingly preserved, its wooden floors creaking with history, its cozy rooms filled with antiques. Enjoy a delicious meal in the dining room, the windows framing picture-perfect views of the lake. Relax on the veranda with a good book, listening to the gentle lapping of the waves. The Kettle Falls Hotel is a true gem, a unique blend of wilderness charm and unexpected luxury. It's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life, to reconnect with nature, and to create memories that will last a lifetime. Section 8. The Rhythm of the Seasons. Now, you might think that a place like Voyagers, so defined by its water, would be a one-season wonder, but you'd be wrong. Oh, so wrong. Voyagers is a year-round destination, each season offering its own unique charms. Spring bursts forth with a riot of color. Wildflowers carpet the forest floor, their delicate blooms a welcome sight after a long winter. Waterfalls thunder with renewed vigor, their icy grip loosened by the warmth of the sun. And the air is alive with the sound of birdsong as feathered friends return from their winter retreats. Summer, of course, is the time for swimming, paddling, and soaking up the endless sunshine. But as the days grow shorter and the nights grow cooler, Voyagers takes on a different kind of magic. The leaves turn to brilliant hues of red, gold, and orange, creating a kaleidoscope of color that's reflected in the still waters of the lakes. And then there's winter. Winter, the time of snow-covered forests, frozen lakes, and starry skies. Voyagers transforms into a winter wonderland, a place of hushed beauty and pristine silence. Don your snowshoes or hop on a snowmobile and explore the frozen landscape. Go ice fishing on a secluded lake, the only sound the creak of the ice and the gentle whisper of the wind. Section 9, come and discover Voyagers. So there you have it, Voyagers National Park. A place of rugged beauty, pristine wilderness, and endless adventure. A place where you can paddle through history, hike through ancient forests, and sleep under a sky ablaze with stars. Whether you're seeking solitude or adventure, tranquility or exhilaration, Voyagers has something to offer everyone. So what are you waiting for? Pack your bags, grab your sense of wonder, and come discover the magic of Voyagers National Park. You won't be disappointed. Trust me on this one. It's an experience you won't soon forget. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a canoe to paddle and a moose to track down. Happy adventuring.